They called him the Hitman, the Motor City Cobra. 6'1", with a 78-inch reach, the most devastating right hand in boxing history. Thomas Hearns knocked out 48 men, made champions quit, made legends crumble. One punch, career over. That was the Hitman's signature. But at 66, sitting in his Detroit gym surrounded by photographs of knockouts and glory, Thomas Hearns trembled. Not from age, from memory. "People think I was fearless," Hearns said quietly. "They see the knockouts and think the Hitman feared nothing. They're wrong. I was terrified every single fight." The right hand was a gift, but it came with a curse. The same body that could generate nuclear power in his fist couldn't protect his chin, couldn't absorb punishment, couldn't survive wars. "I was a glass cannon," Hearns confessed. "I could destroy anyone with one punch. But they could destroy me too. And that fear of being knocked out, it followed me for 29 years. At 66, the Hitman finally opened up. 5 boxers who terrified him. 5 men who could exploit his greatest weakness. 5 names that made Tommy Hearns pray before every fight. This is his confession. Number 5, Mike McCallum, the fight that never happened. And Thomas Hearns spent his career grateful. It didn't. Mike McCallum. The body snatcher. 49-5 record. Middleweight and light heavyweight champion. One of the most avoided fighters of the 1980s. When Mike's name came up, I said no immediately, Hearns admitted at 66. My people asked why. I said the timing wasn't right. That was a lie. The truth. Mike McCallum scared me to death. McCallum was everything Hearns feared. Relentless pressure. Body attack. Durable. Could take your best shot and keep coming. Mike fought like Marvin Hagler, but smarter, more patient. He'd get under your jab, attack the body, break you down. And my whole style was keeping distance. One-punch knockout power. But against Mike, distance disappears. And then what? The fear was tactical and physical. My chin was glass, everyone knew it. And Mike specialized in breaking fighters, not with one punch, with accumulation, body shots, pressure, making you quit. And I knew Mike could break me, not knock out me, break me, make me quit, make me give up. That's worse than getting knocked out. That's surrendering. McCallum fought everyone else, beat everyone at middleweight, moved up, dominated. But Hearns versus McCallum never materialized. We avoided each other. Both sides. The money wasn't big enough for the risk. Because we both knew someone's getting exposed, someone's getting broken, and I didn't want to find out if that someone was me. At 66, Hearns understood what McCallum represented. Mike was the fighter who proved power isn't everything, that you need more than a right hand. You need durability, chin, heart, everything I didn't have. Mike would have walked through my right hand. And then what? Then he breaks me. And the Hitman becomes the quitter. I couldn't risk that. Number 4, Barkley, Las Vegas, June 6, 1988. The night the Hitman's world exploded. Barkley. Nobody expected him to win. 23-4 record. Solid, but not special. Fighting for the WBC middleweight title against Thomas Hearns. When they made the Barkley fight, I didn't respect him, Hearns confessed at 66. And that lack of respect was based on fear. Fear that if I admitted he was dangerous, I wouldn't be able to pull the trigger. Barkley was everything Hearns tried to avoid. Tough, durable, willing to trade. The kind of fighter who got better when you hurt him. My corner told me to box Iran. Stay outside. Jab. Move. Don't let him inside. But I didn't listen. Why? Because I was scared. Scared that if I boxed him, the fight would go 12 rounds. and I couldn't survive 12 rounds trading with anyone. So Hearns tried to end it early, pressed forward, took risks, traded punches with a man who could punch back. Round 3. Barkley landed a right hand. Thomas Hearns went down, hard. When that punch landed, everything went black. Not dark. Black. I wasn't unconscious. I was gone. Somewhere else. And when I came back, I was on the canvas. The referee was counting. And I couldn't get up. The count reached 10. It was over. The Hitman was knocked out. Brutally, devastatingly, embarrassingly. After the Barkley knockout, I looked in the mirror. My face was swollen. My ego was destroyed. But worse than that, my confidence was shattered. Because Barkley wasn't supposed to knock me out. He wasn't Hagler or Leonard. He was just a tough middleweight, and he destroyed me. The loss exposed Hearns' greatest fear. I wasn't scared of the great fighters. I was scared of the dangerous ones, the ones who could take my best shot and keep coming, because those were the ones who exposed my chin, my weakness, my fragility. At 66, Hearns' voice dropped to a whisper. I regret the Barkley fight because I proved my worst fear was true, that I was a one-dimensional fighter, that without my right hand landing first, I was just a tall guy with a glass jaw. Iran didn't just knock me out, he knocked out my belief in myself. Number 3. Roberto. I didn't sleep for a week. Hearns confessed at 66. Duran was moving up. Smaller, older. At 66, Hearns still thinks about Duran. Roberto called me years later. We became friends. And you know what he told me? Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Middleweight king. Destroyer of men. The boogeyman of 160 pounds. When they announced the Hagler fight, I wanted to quit boxing. Hearns admitted at 66. Hagler was everything Hearns feared. Relentless. Indestructible. Could switch between orthodox and southpaw. Could box. Could brawl. Every dream, the same thing happened. I'd hit Marvin with my best shot. He'd smile. And then he'd destroy me. Ray was Muhammad Ali's successor. I was just the guy in the way. And that psychological warfare started long before we got in the ring. But the real fear was tactical. Ray was too fast, too smart, too skilled. I had attacked relentlessly. When Ray hit me in round 14, came up short. At 66, Hearns' voice cracked. I was scared of Sugar Ray Leonard because he represented everything I wasn't. Love, acceptance, greatness without controversy. Ray was the hero. I was the villain. This punchers who ever lived. The Hitman. The Motor City Cobra. But at 66, Thomas Hearns doesn't count knockouts. He counts fears. What I'm proud of. I say the knockouts, but that's a lie. I'm not proud of anything, because every knockout was survival. Every win was relief that I didn't get knocked out first. I had the most dangerous right hand in boxing history, Hearns whispered, but I also had the most fragile chin. And you know what's worse? Knowing you can knock anyone out, or knowing anyone can knock you out? He closed his eyes. Both. The answer is both. And I lived with both for 29 years. That's not courage. That's terror. Every single fight, until the day I retired. At 66, Thomas Hearns had one final confession. The right hand made me famous, but fear made me fight. I wasn't the hitman because I loved knocking people out. I was the hitman because I was terrified of being knocked out first. And that fear never dies. It just waits. Quiet. Patient. Reminding you who you really are. The Motor City Cobra. The glass cannon. The scared man with dynamite fists.